Prisoners, in a lot of ways, I find Sicario and Prisoners to be very similar films. Now, obviously, on a narrative level, they're very different. One is about kidnapped girls, the other one is about drug dealers. But both of them deal with protagonist lead characters with a good, noble goal who do immoral things in the process of trying to achieve that noble goal. And both of them are just these pressure cooker movies that just have this slow building dread from the very beginning all the way up until the very end. They just build and build tension that's rarely ever allowed to be released.
It's like a shot that expresses a pressure of time and that wants to bring the idea that something ominous is about to happen.
And like Sicario, this is another film where on paper, it could just be another genre film. In the case of this one, the kidnapped child and the investigation to find the child. But once again, through the layered storytelling, complex characters, symbolism, it's elevated to this whole other level where you just have a top filmmaker taking a genre film and doing something special with it. As an audience member, we're thrown into the middle of this mystery and we're just trying to piece together all of these clues. And you know this ties in somehow, but it never ties in the way you think it's going to tie in. There's always a twist on everything, and a good choice by a character leads to a bad choice by another. The whole movie uses this imagery of the maze, where essentially each of our characters are prisoners of a metaphoric maze and sometimes a literal maze as they're trying to navigate it and find their way out of it. Have that resolution of finding the two girls. And so each character, in particular our two leads, we see how they try to do this based off their backgrounds, based off their skill sets, based off their emotional connection to the mystery itself. So the father is emotionally compromised, therefore does more and more desperate things in his attempt to save his child. And you see a man that at the beginning, clearly intense, but a good man of character, descending into chaos, trying to find his daughter. And on the other side to it, you have the detective that is a little bit cold at the beginning, but wants to do the right thing. He's trying to do his job and also just goes further and further into it the way that he knows how. And you see these two different paths. The good man descending into madness and cruelty and abandoning the family that he still has in pursuit of the lost child, and the detective trying to do the right thing. And just once again, the great performances. All of these movies have fantastic performances, but this one is so built on our two leads and us buying into them. And of course, they do fantastic work.